Why is our child with your brother? My husband yelled. I calmly answered, he's asleep. If you want, I can craft 3 to 5 more punchy, suspenseful versions that feel branded for social media or storytelling. Do you want me to do that? The phone almost slipped from my hand as Ethan's furious voice cut through the tiny hotel room speaker. Why is our baby with your brother? I blinked, stunned. What? She's asleep at home. My words hung in the air, heavy and uncertain. A tense silence followed, then his voice came again, sharp, colder this time. Clara, the nanny just sent me a video, and it's not our baby in her crib. My heart stopped. I dropped the phone, panic clawing at my chest. My baby was supposed to be safe in her room, wrapped in her blanket, sound asleep. My brother Logan had left hours ago. So why did Ethan believe otherwise? The room around me seemed impossibly quiet. Just the soft hum of the air conditioner and the warm glow of the bedside lamp. My chest tightened as dread settled in. Someone had been in my home. But who? I scrambled for my laptop and opened the nanny's messages. There it was, a video file labeled Home Tonight. My hands shook as I clicked play. The footage was grainy yet clear enough. A baby slept in her crib, but beside her was a man I didn't recognize. My stomach lurched. This wasn't Logan. Not Ethan. Who was he and what was he doing with my daughter? My phone buzzed. Ethan's name flashed. I ignored it, fingers flying over the keyboard to text Logan. Are you at my house? Who's with the baby? The read receipt appeared almost immediately, but no reply followed. Panic coiled tighter in my chest. Someone had been in my home while I wasn't there, and I hadn't known. Then a notification popped up, a live feed from the nursery. My heart slammed against my ribs as I opened it. And froze. There she was, my daughter, small and perfect in her crib. And beside her, it wasn't a stranger. It was Ethan. My husband. Smiling, brushing her hair back, murmuring soft words I couldn't hear. I gripped the edge of the desk, mind racing. Why wasn't he home? Why had he called me furious? And why did the video make it seem like I'd abandoned her? I dialed his number, fingers trembling. Ethan, what is this? Why are you there? His voice was calm, yet edged with something dangerous, something I hadn't heard before. Clara, you don't understand. I had to see her safe for myself. Someone's been sneaking in while I'm away. I couldn't risk it anymore. Sneaking in? My stomach twisted. Logan? The stranger? My thoughts spun faster than I could process. Before I could speak, my laptop chimed again. A new email. Subject, Claire, you need to see this. My pulse raced as I hesitated, then opened it. Inside, a single video clip awaited, another piece of a puzzle I wasn't ready to solve. And in that moment I realized my life, my family, and everything I thought I knew had just been pulled into a nightmare I couldn't wake from. I clicked play and my blood ran ice cold. It wasn't just my husband or my daughter on the screen. It was me. The footage wobbled like the camera was hiding behind the doorway. My own exhausted voice floated through the room, cooing to a baby, but not our baby. My eyes widened in disbelief. There I was, rocking a crib, humming the lullaby I only knew for my daughter, but the baby's face was wrong. Wrong hair, wrong eyes, completely unfamiliar. I froze. Who had swapped her? How had I missed it? The camera shifted. The man from the earlier nursery video now lingered in the hallway. And then Ethan stepped into the frame, unervingly calm, whispering something the man nodded to. My chest tightened. This wasn't an accident or misunderstanding, it was staged. Everything Ethan had screamed at me about, the baby with my brother, the supposed neglect, it was all a setup. I slammed the laptop shut, my hands trembling, heart hammering, mind screaming. The walls seemed to close in, suffocating. Betrayal burned hotter than fear. Ethan, the man I loved, the father of my child, was part of this. My phone buzzed again. A new text from an unknown sender. Check the crib. See for yourself. I ran to the nursery, dread pooling in my stomach. The door creaked open and I froze. In the crib lay a single note addressed to me. If you want your real baby back, play by our rules. My hands shook as I picked it up, the paper crumpling under my fingers. Play by their rules. Whoever had done this knew exactly how to push me to my breaking point. And Ethan wasn't just complicit, he was part of it. I sank to the floor, forcing myself to breathe, to think. Panic wouldn't help. Tears blurred my vision, but I focused. My daughter was out there somewhere and they were counting on me losing control. I opened my laptop again, scanning emails, camera feeds, texts, anything suspicious. Every odd call, every unexplained delivery, every moment Ethan had acted strange, a pattern began to form. This wasn't random, it was calculated, precise. And then it clicked. If they wanted control, I would give them something they didn't expect. I would play, but on my terms. No panic. No pleading. No weakness. I would watch. I would learn. I would strike. I texted Logan, I need you. No questions. Come alone. Minutes later, a soft knock echoed at the door. My heart leapt. The knock came again. Slow, uneven. Not the rhythm of someone bringing comfort. I opened the door cautiously, and my breath caught. Mara stood there. Ethan's former assistant. The quiet woman who always hovered at the edges of parties, polite and forgettable. Except now she looked anything but forgettable. Her eyes flicked down the hallway before settling on me. Clara, she whispered urgently, you shouldn't be alone. Where is my baby? My voice was steady though my pulse was raging. Start talking. He swallowed. It's Ethan. He planned everything. The videos, the accusations, he wanted you to look unstable. Negligent. He thought if he scared you enough you'd break. He didn't expect you to catch on. The anger that rose inside me was sharp enough to taste. Where is she? Mara pressed a small encrypted USB into my hand. Everything's on there. Locations, schedules, access codes. You can get her back tonight. But be careful. He's monitoring everything. Panic dissolved into something colder. Focus. Precision. Within minutes, I was dressed in dark clothes, a small bag over my shoulder. Each step toward my car felt deliberate, like marching into a battle I never chose, but would finish. The USB held more than I expected. Warehouse addresses. Live security feeds. Passcodes. Ethan thought he was orchestrating a perfect psychological game. He forgot I was capable of strategy too. The final location led me to an abandoned warehouse on the edge of the city. Through a cracked side window I saw it, a crib. And inside it a small sleeping figure. My daughter. Beside her stood Ethan, pacing with a tablet in his hand, a smug half-smile on his face as if he'd already won. I slipped inside quietly, crouching behind rusted crates. The air smelled of dust and metal. Shadows stretched long across the concrete floor. My heart pounded but my mind stayed sharp. This wasn't about rage. This was about control. Ethan, I called softly. He froze. Before he could move, I triggered the warehouse system using the codes from the USB. Lights flared overhead. His tablet began flashing with alerts. Camera feeds multiplied across his screen. Confusion replaced confidence. I stepped forward into the light, already lifting my daughter into my arms. She stirred but didn't wake. His face drained of color. You underestimated me, I said calmly. And you forgot something important. Sirens wailed faintly in the distance, growing louder. You can't outplay a mother protecting her child. He opened his mouth but the words never formed. Police lights flooded the warehouse windows in red and blue flashes. Officers rushed in, guided by the security feeds I had unlocked. The arrogance drained from him completely as he was pulled to his knees, hands cuffed behind his back. The mastermind reduced to a man scrambling for excuses. You tried to scare me, I told him quietly, holding my daughter close. Tried to break me. I met his eyes, steady, unshaken. But I know my life. And I will always protect what's mine. They led him away protesting, his elaborate scheme collapsing with every step. Outside, the night air was cold and clean. Logan stood nearby, silent but solid. Mara lingered at a distance, relief softening her features. Justice felt real tonight. I looked down at my daughter, safe in my arms, breathing softly against my chest. She had slept through the worst of it. I kissed her forehead and whispered, "It's over now. You're safe now. No one will ever touch you again." And as I held her close, something shifted inside me. This wasn't about defeating Ethan. It wasn't about proving him wrong or watching his empire crumble. It was about taking back what he tried to steal. My voice, my power, my sense of home. He believed control was strength. He believed manipulation was intelligence. But he never understood the one force he could never command. I had love that didn't waver. courage that didn't collapse under fear, and truth that didn't need lies to survive. And in the end, that was more powerful than anything he ever built.